Hey guys, I don't give a fuck about this one.
Wow.
Hi Gavin.
That's
I've I've had a shitty week. It's finals week. I am wanting to kill myself. It's been rough.
Remember, sideways for attention, long ways for results.
Yeah. I'm ready for this week to be fucking over so I can go home.
Moving. So there might be a nice portion where I'm not in the videos at all. I think because I'm moving at like the 1st of May. So.
We'll figure that out when the time comes.
What?
We'll figure that out when the time comes.
I could probably hop onto Discord. Because I'm be living in like a hotel thing, like a hotel apartment thing, but that'll be for like a month maybe. I don't know. Well, everything gets moved in, but
Yeah. Yeah, if nothing else, Discord will do.
yeah. So hop on, shoot the shit.
Say hotbox?
Hop on, shoot the. I mean, I'd love to be a part of a hot box. Let me tell you, but
Well, for a second I was like, say hotbox or podcast?
podcast. That what?
You know, like I said, it's been a long week. I lost a bingo last night. Like,
What?
I'm not having a very good week.
Lost a bingo. It's been a rough couple of days, boys. Let me tell you.
It has. Okay, I literally had. It was so. The pattern was you had to cover your card, right? I had two cards, and so I had 6 total boxes I was looking at. In like 3 different ones, I had 1 left. And I was like, okay, bitch, you need to say 56. And he was like, his last number, he was like, 50? And I'm like, he's like, 1. And I'm just like, you're a cunt. Okay.
Alright, first off, you're a bitch. Second off, I hate my life.
And the grand prize was AirPods. I was like, I wanted to be a part of the group, even though I still technically would be a part of the group.
I wanted to be rich.
It's like, we see you, but you're still not one of us.
See you, but
It's like when you get upgraded to first class and you don't buy first class.
Yeah.
Like you're allowed to sit here, but we know you're different.
That is straight up a joke from some comedian. I've heard it before, Jordan.
It is 100% from Tom Segura, yeah. He's a very,
You can get it.
inspirational man. I think that's the word I wanted.
Yeah. I mean, I've never actually ridden first class. I've always been.
I have yet to even ride on a plane.
Wow. Let me tell you, not all it's cracked up to be.
I just want to act like a child and kick some old business dude in the back.
Oh, you'd be that cunt.
Oh, I would 100%.
Children on airplanes.
I would 100% be a child on the airplane.
I deadass hate all children on airplanes.
I hate children in general, so.
I was a bit ago. I was going to Puerto Rico with my family because my brother was on a traveling baseball team, and I was like, okay, I get to go to Puerto Rico, East Boot, yay.
Yeah.
East Boot, yay. I bought like some old man at a baseball game was selling calzones. I ate like 30 calzones.
That is the most American thing happening in a non-American country.
No, that
Like,
old man loved me. Because I'd always come back like 15 minutes later with
Be like-
$1.
he'd be like,
or,
hey papi, calzone me.
Papi, give me calzone.
Calzone!
I'd I'd walk and be like, oh, I love this kid, and I was just some fat, like,
fat American boy. Just...
He loved me. Because I kept on buying his fucking food.
What if they were, like, laced with, like, cocaine or something?
Man.
What drug is Puerto Rico known for? Are they known for a drug?
I would assume, since it's, like, kind of in, like, the Colombian...
In, like, the Bahamas area.
Cuban,
Yeah.
Like, the Cuban
Cigars.
Cigar... It's not a drug, but...
Cuban cigars. Okay, but, no, like, Cuban cigars are, like, illegal in America, aren't they?
Well, it's because of an embargo.
Oh, I thought there was, like, something, like...
It's not because they have, like...
I wasn't saying that...
We drenched it in cocaine!
No, I wasn't saying that, like, that's the reason why they were made illegal. I was... Not that cocaine, at least. I was, like... I wasn't sure if they, like... If there was, like, at a time where they were used for, like, drug trafficking or something like that.
I just had one Cuban cigar, and let me tell you, I am fucked up. But, no, I was flying to Puerto Rico. I had the most entertaining flights to and from Puerto Rico. The one back was not happy entertainment, but we'll get to that. But I was going to Puerto Rico, and I sat next to this Asian lady with a baby.
Mm-hmm.
So halfway through the flight, right? Baby's like starts like getting like
Sounds like Jim Gaffigan.
And so the Asian lady's like, "Oh, you hungry?" She whips out her titty. Right?
Was she like on a scale from like meth head from where we're from to like Brandy Love?
She was actually kind of attractive. Like, well, you can't compare. Asa Akira would be a better comparison.
Asa Akira? Well, I was just... Brandy Love was the first MILF that came to mind. I didn't think about race when I was...
She's Asian.
I didn't think of it. I don't see color, Gavin. Even though arguably one of them.
I was sitting there, this Asian lady, she was fairly attractive. I'd give her a 6.5. She was above average.
Okay, that's where I go to school. That's a 9.5.
Yeah, and she whipped out her titty, and I was like, ooh.
Oh.
She started breastfeeding on the plane right next to me. I was like, she didn't use like that, like, you know, the classy, you know, cover yourself when you're breastfeeding tool that most
like the blanket or whatever.
Yeah, like the thing that they throw over and they cover it up. No, she just whipped it out and just started breastfeeding. I was like, okay, all right.
I see you, Chin Chong.
12 or 13-year-old Gavin had a little bit of a chub the entire flight. And I may or may not have, I can't remember, jerked off in an airplane.
That is the most Gavin thing I've ever heard.
I have jerked off in several
Saw an Asian
non-American countries, okay?
Saw an Asian bitch whip out her titty to feed her baby. I touched myself.
Well, I got hard, and I didn't want to sit on a plane and just be hard. So
we all know you wanted some of the we all know you wanted whatever the baby was having. It's okay. Because like we all do too. Because like we all do too.
So that happened, and then I know on another flight I was sitting next to a priest.
That is wonderful. Did you jerk it?
Next to a priest. What?
Did he jerk you? Did he touch you?
No, he didn't. He didn't touch me. He was like a younger guy. I think he would have like. He was like had to have been like 22, 23.
He hadn't been corrupted yet.
Yeah, he was just starting off, and he was just sitting right next to me, and you know, so and then this one guy had like his like iPad or something out, and he was just watching Transformers on his iPad. I was like, okay, I guess I'm gonna do this the entire flight. Just listen to music and watch silent Transformers. And I did that. And then on the plane ride back from Puerto Rico, the entire family got sat together pretty much. And then there was this fucking Puerto Rican family behind me, and they were losing their child was losing his goddamn mind, screaming. It kicked the fuck out of my seat so goddamn much. I was like, me and my brother, we don't agree on a lot, but we made eye contact with each other on the plane. And I was like, I looked at him and I was like, in my mouth, like, that fucking baby. And I just fucking went, I slapped my hand, like backhanded my own hand. I was like,
Hey Ike, want to play Punch Kick the Baby? I want to play Kick the Baby.
Baby out of the fucking airlock.
Oh fuck! I hate this mini game. I'm so bad at it.
But yeah, and then I have a couple of plane stories. I remember it was when I was coming back from, visiting like Thor and you guys and whatever for like Thor's birthday.
Yeah.
And what Thor gave me on the plane ride back was a piece of peanut butter fudge.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, this is nice. I'd actually really enjoy this. Bear in mind, when I was back hanging out with Thor, I was smoking weed like 24/7. Like, I was getting unrealistically high, like all the time. And I just it hadn't clicked for me, but I was like, oh, peanut butter fudge. And I put it in my mouth and I was like, oh, this has weed in it. So on the entire plane ride back, like I got to Arizona or I got to California. So like I landed and I had to immediately go to my next flight, which honestly, if anybody's ever flown before, it's like the perfect circumstance, like where you get there and then 5 minutes later you're on your next flight.
Yeah.
So you don't have to wait.
I'm gonna be solely paying attention because this mini game pisses me off.
Mm.
So like you could keep talking, but if you ask me a question, it might take me a minute because
Yeah, don't worry. I don't think there's any question asking.
concentration.
This is when the California was burning down again, like last year, and it kicked in like halfway through the flight, or not really halfway. It kicked in at the beginning of the flight, like really hard, and I was like, oh fuck yeah! And there was
what?
Oh god.
Sorry. Yeah.
But I'm a big fucking dude, right?
Yeah.
Planes in like business class are very uncomfortable for me, like for my legs, because I'm actually pretty tall.
Yeah.
And like I had to like scrunch up or anything, but this flight I had a seat right next to me open. There was a Latina grandma right next to me or something, like on the other side, like at the aisle seat, and I was just sitting near the window, right? And I was looking down, and I was just fucking high off my balls, just watching California burn to the ground from like 10,000 feet in the air, and it was a great experience. Let me tell you, if you have a chance to watch a forest fire
While stoned off your ass
on an airplane, it's pretty beautiful. You're thinking to yourself,
oh my god, I have to like wipe my hands off. I'm sweaty. Continue.
so sweaty.
Sweaty.
Yeah, it's like, when you're high, you start getting fucking artistic or like poetic.
I mean,
Like things that you see that you're just like, oh, that's real pretty.
I mean,
like kind of shit like that.
the times that I have incorporated myself into the illegalness of the marriage awareness, I forgot how to eat, and then I started crying.
Yeah,
That's been the peak of my experiences.
Yeah, those are.
Well, I mean, the eating Pop-Tart thing, that was funny because I was like sitting. I was at a party, kind of like it wasn't like an actual like sanctioned party. It was just like a hey, come hang out, and I'm like cool. And so. But so I had like maybe 2 solo cups of my drink, but it was like a vodka Mountain Dew mix or whatever. And then I think it was like a cookie. And I had the cookie, and then I was like, okay, like they said, like I was told by a couple others that it takes a little bit to kick in. I'm like, okay, I'll give it like an hour and a half, 2 hours. Within probably about that hour and a half, 2 hours, I hadn't really felt anything yet, so I'm like, I'm gonna start drinking again. I had maybe like 2 more cups.
You're insane.
It didn't come up. So I was like, okay, I'll have like 2 more. I had like 2 more cups, and I went to and I had I had a like this little. It almost looked like a like the cups that like weightlifters used for like protein powder that like it was kind of something along that line, but it wasn't quite like top of the line or whatever. And so I filled that up once at to start. So like it was full, and I was like, okay, I'll make this last for the entire night. I'm gonna have a fun night. So I get there. Um, the party's pretty much a blur. Uh, I remember standing in a corner, leaning up against the wall, not doing anything, and just being perfectly still.
Oh, don't worry. You think you were still?
Oh no, I actually was. I was.
You
No,
think you're
because
still.
I have other people's recollections. So at that moment, I was more or less perfectly still, maybe just like a couple little like catching balance here and there.
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
wavering.
just a little bit of that, and then I'm pretty sure I think I finished my drink, and
Yeah.
so at that point I was feeling very good, and then I was like, damn, I'm kind of hungry, and I saw one of my friends eating a Pop Tart. I'm like, hey Alex, can I get a Pop Tart? He goes, I got you, bro. And he throws me one. I'm like, you saved my life, you angel. And so I'm just kind of holding it and looking at it. And then like 5 minutes later, they come back, and I'm still in that position, like just looking at it. And he looks at me, he's like, "Are you okay, Jordan?" I'm like, I don't know how I'm supposed to eat this. I was like, what? And it's like ended up helping me eat one of them, and then I was like, I'm thirsty. Guess what I did? I went
Drank your drink.
I went back to my room and filled my cup back up.
You fucking
Went
insane
back to the
person.
party, drank it again. And then after the second cup, which was now about my sixth cup, probably more if you consider like cups as like the solo cups comparatively and all that. So we'll just say six to keep it easy. So then I would leave the party. I would start going back to my room, and I would get lost. And let me tell you that where the party was and where my room is literally a straight shot. There's maybe one building in between where the party was and where my dorm is. And I got lost, so I was like, I'm just gonna walk around a little bit. And so I'd make like a big circle, and then I'd see the house where the party is. I'm like, hey, I know people there. And I'd walk in, and like the people working security would be like, hey, Jordan. I'm like, hey guys, and I'd walk upstairs for a little bit, and then do the exact same thing. I did that at least 3 times. After about the third time, one of my friends saw me, and they were like, he probably should give some help. And so she took me back to my room, and I'm like, nah, I want more to drink. So I made another cup. Back in like the water bottle. So this puts it at about 7 or 8 cups. We leave a little bit, we go back to the party for less than like 5 minutes, and then we end up sitting outside like on a swing or something. I don't even remember. And that's where the sadness came in. Because everything was like wearing off. And so I'm sitting there and I'm like, hey, I really like you and blah blah blah.
Oh, yeah.
Blah blah blah. And she just kinda went, that's nice. That's nice, throws it in the trash. And so I was like, oh, okay. And then like she put me back into my room, I'm sitting on the couch, and I was like, I just don't understand. And for a solid 15 minutes, I just was like, nobody loves me. Blah, blah. And then I fell asleep. That was my first and only marijuana experience.
Jesus. That is.
It's a wonderful story.
I've only had like. I mean, I've had times where I've gotten green sick and like thrown up from like smoking too much and like. You know, because in like smoking like a cigarette afterwards, and that will fucking destroy me. But the only time I've actually really had a horrible like weed experience
I did the mini game on my second try. Fuck yes.
There you go. But it was the first time actually I was smoking weed, which, you know, most people might be like, oh, I'm done after this. Not me. But because it was me, Carlos, one of Carlos's friends, and Thorne. So we started off, I started taking hits from a glass blunt. Those who don't know, that'll fucking tear you a new one.
Glass blunt?
It'll destroy your life. Because you say blunt, but it's so much bigger than a blunt. And it's like you're taking unfiltered bong hits, pretty much, from the fucking, from the tip of this thing. And I took a couple hits of those, and I was fucked up. I was having fun, and then, a person that I will send something to Jordan, so he'll know who it is, who I'm talking about. But for everybody else, I'm gonna call him L. And there you go. I sent it. And L came to the party. He was the weed. He was the weed dealer. Carlos.
You mean old shooter?
Yeah. And L fucking came to the party at my house. And I was like, okay, he'll drop it off and he'll fucking leave.
Psych.
No. He stayed, smoked the weed that we got.
So he was the dealer. He brought some.
No, he was the dealer.
Oh, okay.
He bought it from Stormy. There's a lot of people named Stormy. We bought it from Stormy, and Lucas was the delivery boy, and he delivered to the house.
His name, but it doesn't matter.
Whatever.
Yeah,
it's Lucas. A lot of people are named Lucas. And he stayed there for a bit, and I thought, okay, they're going to exchange money. Money will exchange hands. Our economy will be strong. And no, what happened is that Carlos came out 2 boxes of pistol ammunition.
Oh.
Like 9 and 45. Now, I don't know if you know this, Jordan, but I have a lot of guns in my house. And I have a 9mm and 45. So my high brain was like thinking, my noggin was jogging, and I was like,
shoot some.
I was like, no, they might have stolen from like my house, and I'm gonna have to kill somebody. Like, and then he started like, and I got really untrustworthy, really quick, really paranoid. I got my first time getting high, I was fine, and then I got paranoid high because that was there, which is not a fun experience. It ruins everything if anybody knows that. And so what I would do is anytime I would see Lucas maybe making a trip towards the door of my house, because we were on the back patio, like on the back porch, and I would try and position myself in such a way that if he made a move towards the door, I would tackle him and crush his trachea with my elbow.
As you would normally do with him.
Yes, because I didn't want him in my house. I didn't fucking trust him. And so when he left, my garage door was open. So I fucking walked him out to his fucking truck, because I had a lot of shit. I had like 4-wheelers, like I had ATVs, dirt bikes, shit in my fucking like garage that people would want to steal. No, they could not steal my dogs. One, my dog Thor was too fat to steal.
It's true, I've seen him.
Yeah, well, sadly not with us anymore. Rest in peace. But my dog Daisy would bite his dick off.
What
like,
dick?
Yeah, and I I walked him out to his car, and I was like, ha, you know, I put on that. I'm a very good actor. I was like, ha, yeah, bye.
Bye.
Like, bye.
The fuck out of my house.
See ya. Get off my property, kind of shit. So I just sat there after he left, brooding, like, for a solid hour about that entire situation, and that was my first time getting high. It was not fun.
And yet you chose to do it a lot again.
Oh, fuck yeah. Because I only get high in situations where I know that things are going to be fine. Like, things aren't going to pop out of the blue and spook me. Like, I'll take an edible in my house, you know? I'll take edibles with friends at their houses. I'll smoke a couple bongs.
When you came and visited me last year, you ended up falling asleep in the front yard. I'm just gonna go get a. We'll save it for next time because we're running out of time.
Yeah.
But from what I remember, it was. What was it? It was you were smoking cigarettes all day long, and then we had quite a bit to drink, and then you had two.
I was smoking cigarettes. That's what happens when you smoke.
And then you had 2 edibles, I think, and then I wasn't sure if it was 1 or 2.
But it was that high. It was. I had only smoked or ate Indiana weed, pretty much.
And it was, yeah. Wasn't it a weed gummy? Yeah,
Yes,
it was one of my friend's weed gummies. Yeah. And then I just remember the next morning being like, I ended up was like, yeah, I'm just gonna go smoke a cigarette on the front yard, and then people found you asleep in the grass. Okay, hold on. We gotta finish. We gotta finish the story real fast because this is all the time we got.
Yeah. Okay. So let's start it from the beginning then. So I take an edible at your dorm room. Right. 45 minutes go by. It starts kicking in. We're playing pool at the like rec center or whatever the fuck it was.
We were.
And I was having.
I don't remember that, but okay.
I do. Because I was having a great time, and I absolutely scuffed your ass in pool. And then we got back to your room, and then we started drinking, which, getting crossfaded, for anybody who's listening.
It was a great time.
Who's ever had that happen. It is so much fun in isolated scenarios. And you'll get, like, we were drinking, right? I think you had, it was Kharkov, like, peach vodka and, like, Gatorade.
Probably also had a Four Loko.
We had a Four Loko, too.
You drank most of it, though, because that was after my experience, and I was like, I can't.
Yeah, that was your near-death experience. And
which we'll elaborate on next time.
Yes, and next time. And I was, like, getting drunk, and then Jack came in. And then we just started doing Family Guy Joe impressions at each other from across the room. Everybody up. Which, for those who know, that's like lowest of brow humor. Just going, hey, Peter! Like, just at each other.
It works, though.
It's the room.
Alright, long story short.
Yeah. We went, we drank, went to the party, started drinking. It was an 80s party. I just basically faded in and out of rooms, hip thrusting, doing a white man's overbite. Like leaving like a fucking ghost. Like nobody knew who I was.
I was puking in the corner.
It was hilarious. I learned that later. I learned that after they dragged me inside and tried to get you. And I remember one story I remember, which like one thing I remember was like we were walking through. You were trying to get me a beer, like somebody like who had a beer. Some fucking magical dude who's following like the guy who like kind of hosting the party. Or like was kind of like involved in it. Who's like, you need a beer? And I was like, yeah. And then he pulled a Miller Lite, like a fucking genie, by the way, from his fucking Back to the Future vest that he was wearing. And he put it in my hand, and I was like, fuck yes. And I drank that.
Well,
I downed that, crushed it
more often.
Yeah. And then I started going from room to room. And then I got to the dance floor. Just started dancing to myself. I about passed out on the dance floor in a corner. And then Bust a Move by Young MC came on, and it revives me from my near like comatose state. Danced, went downstairs, sat on the curb, smoked a couple cigarettes, went to the front yard of the dorm, like the frat house that we were partying at. Passed out underneath the tree. Somebody came, saved my life that night. Dragged me inside. Gave me water. It was an RA,
probably.
For your dorm.
Oh, okay, then that's not mine. That wasn't mine.
No, but we'll get to your RA in a second, because he was there too. And she dragged me inside, gave me water. Your ex-roommate, when I was there, Samir?
Just keep talking. We're running out of time. We ran out of time. We're like 10 minutes over.
Doesn't matter. And he's like, what fucking happened? I'm like, I gotta have fun. And then we went off to find you. You're throwing up in a corner at this moment in time. All over yourself. And they're like, okay, Jordan's not available right now.
Jordan can't come to the phone right now. Please leave a message.
Yeah. So they started to walk me home. I had one cigarette left. I remember we went to Goodwill to like just try and find stuff, and I found like a 99-cent.
You still have that?
Like fucking like weird pencil case. I think I got rid of it. But I put my cigarettes in there. I pulled it out, which for them might seem like, what the fuck is this guy? And so I started smoking, and then your RA, like they passed me off onto your RA, and he walked me home. He's like, hey, you know, George, I just came to that party. And then he opened up the door to your room, and I fell onto the chair.
When I got back to my room, eventually, you were passed the fuck out on the floor.
Yeah, I fell onto your chair, not in it. Let's be real here. I knocked that shit over, and I fell asleep on a beanbag for the rest of the night. Woke up with a hangover, told you I was leaving, and I was taking some pizza with me. Some cold fucking pizza with me. And then I ate that shit on my way home. And that's that story.
Yep. Alright. Well, thanks for sticking with us, guys. Since we're terrible at telling stories in a timely fashion. True. We'll have more stories next time on for Thursday. So later. Oh god. Bye.